Hello and welcome to the program Talk Sports on Global Television. Time for us to look at the big stories making the rounds and the exciting world of sport. I'm not alone, I've been joined by
Samuel Ode, good morning and thank you for joining us today on Talk Sports.
All right, I'll be looking at the big stories making the rounds. I'll begin with the action that went down in the Champions League last night, where Harry Kane's 50th and 51st goals in Europe clinched a priceless Champions League comeback for Bayern Munich last night. The English man ensuring he might yet lift the biggest trophy of all of his first season in Bavaria. However, okay, let's just take a look at, let's go for a very quick break.
Hello there and welcome back to Talk Sport. I am Samuel Ode. If you're just joining us, I'll be taking a look at the big stories. We're looking at the big stories from last night Champions League, where Harry Kane helped to score 2 goals to give his side the winning of last night's match against Lazio. He was hoping that this is going to be a chance for him to win his biggest Champions League and then win his biggest trophy. The game ended yesterday in 3-0, which gave Bayern Munich a lead against Lazio. Harry Kane's 50th and 51st goal in Europe clinched a priceless Champions League comeback for Bayern Munich last night. The Englishman ensuring he might yet lift the biggest trophy of all in his first season in Bayern. However, bruised they are by their bleaching Bundesliga title defense. Xabi Alonso are now 10 points clear at the top of the table, at the top of the German table. Kane made sure their season did not end in March at the Allianz Arena. Bayern tailed Lazio by a single goal from the first leg, a loss which contributed to confirmation that Thomas Tuchel will step down this summer. There was a talk yesterday of him being shelved sooner if eliminations was confirmed here. Alonso will remain on the Bayern's radar in their search for a successor. If you can't beat them, buy them. But Tuchel can at least retain hope to achieving something special before the departure. Bayern had been eliminated from 8 Champions League ties when losing their first leg, but were now leading in the 52nd minute, memorably screamed from a penalty when he felt he was clattered by De Ligt. It led to nothing other than him being substituted, injured in collision. Harry Kane exposed Jamie Garrer as a liar at CBS interview after his 2 goals helped Bayern Munich reach the Champions League quarter-finals. So from the game last night, Harry Kane's goal from the first half and then the second goal in the 66th minute helped them seal the win that helped them, advance to the quarterfinals with a support of a goal from Tuchel Müller, which goal came in the 45th minute. in the 45th minute of the first half, was able to help them secure the lead. And then in the second half, Harry Kane scored the 66th minute goal, which helps put the icing on the cake that secured their way straight to the Champions League quarterfinals. Harry Kane left Jamie Carragher's red first on Tuesday after exposing his lies in a light-hearted post-match interview following Bayern Munich's win over Lazio. The England captain scored twice in the Champions League last 16-round leg at Bayern Munich, turned a 1-0 first leg defeat to process the quarter-final 3 on the aggregates. The former Liverpool man said before the game that he had spoken to Kane to inspire him to the victory at the last 16 rounds of the Champions League, but that was quickly denied by Kane. CBS reporter Kate Abbott stated that the post-match interview, by addressing Kane before we do anything, I think we should clear up, because Jamie said earlier on 8 pre-game that he called you to speak to you this week. It is true or false? That is false, Harry Kane replied, causing heterotic laughter from Carragher in studio. Carragher's response, hey, don't do this to me. I am telling everyone in America that we were friends. We have got a great relationship. I can't believe you just done that to me. The Bayern star said, we are trying. The Bayern star said, we are friends, but I am not going to lie to national TV. Carragher declared, we are Twitter friends, which led to Abraham claiming that not friends. He went to explain that the back Kane do not do business against Lazio. So one of the big stories that we're looking at right now is the story between Liverpool and Egypt. Liverpool and Egypt. It has been a backlash for quite a while. You know, the Liverpool are having issues between Egypt and Mohamed Salah in question because of his fitness. During the African Cup of Nations, Mohamed Salah couldn't continue. He stopped playing. He got injured during the African Cup of Nations group stages, where he had to sit out for the rest of the tournament. And then ever since then, there has been a question for his fitness, and he has been in and out of injury. Now, Egypt are planning to send him a letter for him to come down to go play their friendly match in New Zealand, which Liverpool is not permitting him to go based on the fact that his fitness level is not on 100 right now. He's not looking fit to go handle, situations like that. So it has been a backlash, back-to-back argument and, chaos between the two sides, which is going to hopefully, lead to something better for the two sides at the end of the day, because Liverpool are not letting Mohamed Salah go because he's one of their top players, and they are not looking to take risks when it comes to his health. So we over here need to look inward and then make sure we put players' health as top priority, because at the end of the day, if these players don't come down to play in our local leagues, in African leagues, there is no how, the league will be able to will flourish. So we need to put our players' health in consideration whenever we are trying to get that recognition or to get those wins that we want for our country. But we also need to look at the players themselves, look at their welfare, look at every, hiccups that might come up. That's why most of the times it's rare for all these players to come down and play for our African nations, because we don't pay so much concerns. We don't pay so much concerns about their well-being and all of that. So now Liverpool are refusing to grant Mohamed Salah permission, because ever since he returned back from AFCON, he has not been on 100. He couldn't even participate in the finals that was played between Chelsea and Liverpool in the quarter final. So I would say for for, most of the African teams to, look inwards about the players' welfare first before we start inviting them. Just sit right back. We'll be back shortly. By then, I'll have my senior colleague, Mr. Anthony Momodu, to join us. Please sit back and enjoy. We'll be right back after this short break.
Welcome back to the program. We still talk sports on Global Television, and we're still giving you the big stories and making the rounds in the exciting world of sport. Yes, my colleague had given you the big stories as regards Bayern taking on Lazio in the UEFA Champions League last night, and it was Bayern Munich, the Bavarian giant, turning around the entire story after they lost 1-0 in the first leg. And I'm sure the hierarchy of Bayern Munich at this point to be thinking, were they wrong to make Thomas Tuchel decide to step down because of the poor results he had in that course of that week where they lost to Lazio 1-0 and also lost to Bayer Leverkusen. Do you think the players probably decided to play for Thomas Tuchel? That was why they were able to turn around the results, beating Lazio at home with as much as 3 goals.
I saw the intensity and the approach Bayern used in playing, because they played like the Bayern that we all know, because they played, with intensity. They just kept knocking and knocking and knocking. So I think they played for him. That's what I feel. I feel they played for him to, like, okay, even if you're going to be leaving us, and I'm sure they will want to, like, give him a good name, even if it wasn't a smooth ride all through, but there should just be something that will, like, okay, look back at and, like, yes, well, this man was here, we were able to achieve this, we were able to achieve this. So I think they actually, did all of that to, like, okay, we appreciate you for the work you've done so far, and then they are looking maybe for, a brighter future for him wherever he gets another coaching job.
Do you think this result might begin to change the mind of the hierarchy of Bayern to say, okay, probably we're too much in a hurry to set the alarm bells ringing already?
I think they've made their mind, because I think they are in talks already with Xavi Alonso.
Yeah.
Yes, I think they're in talks already, but I think they are very key into getting Xavi Alonso to being the next manager for the club. So I think the management and the club, the board of directors, I think they've made up their mind already. But we never can tell. There might be a change.
Because we saw Barcelona do the same thing. After Xavi had said he was stepping out at the end of the season.
True.
So with the churn of results churned out, Xavi the President Laporta had come out to tell Xavi, you might as well just stay
put, yes.
as a gaffer.
So maybe somewhere there's a chance that something like that might happen because, Xavi Alonso, they've not properly given him the job and he hasn't accepted none yet. So there's a chance that there might be a change. So let's just keep our fingers crossed and see what happens.
All right, let's keep giving you the big stories right here. Let's take you to Stamford Bridge, and the big story there says Chelsea fear they could be homeless for 6 years if they go ahead with the Stamford Bridge revamp. That's the big story coming from England, and it says Chelsea could be without a home for 6 years if they decide to revamp the Stamford Bridge. According to a new report, club chiefs are considering the future of the stadium with a renovation of the iconic venue among the plans being discussed. Another option is to pay for an expensive land and build elsewhere. The Sun report, there is reportedly also frustration at the lack of progress under the new owners regarding Stamford Bridge amid the depth of updates on the situation. Let's look at when clubs want to change homeland. We saw how it affects teams. We saw when Arsenal left Highbury to the new Emirates, it took them time to turn that into a fortress. We saw when Tottenham left White Hart Lane, moved to a new stadium. It took them time before they were able to how important will it be for Chelsea, and should Chelsea even consider, why would they consider wanting to change their home ground? Remember the history created there by Didier Drogba and
a whole lot of history created by Didier Drogba, Frank Lampard, and Malouda and all of them. But change, it's difficult. Change is difficult, but I don't think Chelsea right now are in the time to even start renovating their stadium. That's my thought. I think they should work more on the team and then get to that place. They're like 11th or 12th on the Premier League table. That's not the Chelsea that we used to know. I think they need to focus on the team itself, build the team. Renovation can come maybe later, but while renovation is coming later, they need to get the team, and then wanting people to move with them to wherever they want to move to. You must give somebody something. It's not now that, you don't give fans what they really want. Now it's this story today, that story tomorrow, and at the end of the day, they are not winning games so much, they are not doing so well. So I think the revamping should be on hold for now, for them to get the team, the players, everything, the coaching staff working properly before they now look at that aspect of revamping.
All right, let's move on to other big stories. Now we're taking you to France, where the big story has to do with the man, no other person but Kylian Mbappe, who breaks the net with his powerful opener for PSG against the Real Sociedad, with the Frenchman's fierce strike causing delay while it was fixed. That's the big story there from the Champions League. You could see the net turn. The last time we talked about net being torn is when we talk about Nigeria's Thunder Balogun, who was said to have had one of the most fiercest shots in world football. But the big story this morning tells us that Kylian Mbappe's powerful strike for PSG against Real Sociedad was hit with such ferocity that it broke a hole in the net. The French star drilled home across the goal to bury the ball in the far corner of the goal during the 2-1 win against the La Liga side, Real Sociedad, and replay showed that it seemed to pull part of the netting away from the goal post. There was delay in 3.5 minutes while the issue was fixed before the action in the last 16-second leg commenced. Let's tell you that the French World Cup winner sprinted into the left side of the penalty area before whistling a shot into the far corner from the acute angle, which goalkeeper Alex Remiro could not deal with. Mbappe scored again just before the hour mark as PSG progressed 4-1 on aggregate, with Mikel Merino only able to get the league consolation for Real Sociedad. Mbappe's goal was his 40th goal and assist in all competitions this season. How big a miss would he be for Paris Saint-Germain?
He's going, obviously, I don't think they are going to get a fit, an exact fit, like the same quality. When I mean by fit, like they can get a fit, someone that can fit in the position, but the quality and what Kylian Mbappe brings to the team, it's totally different from. So what is going to be, he's going to be missed truly, because he's truly loved. He's truly loved by the fans over there, by his teammates and all. But yeah, them getting a fix, someone who can fit in now, it's another ball game. Someone with that same kind of quality, someone with that kind of intensity, and then create plays. It needs someone that is really going to fit in properly. So Kylian Mbappe is actually going to be missed, and I know they'll figure it out and then get someone who can be able to, manage well in that position.
We know that in the last two games he was subbed. Do you think that putting him on the bench was one of the things that inspired him for last night's performance, where he came out with so much force? And do you think that sub in the last two games was a tactical move by Luis Enrique?
I think that move, I think the coach is trying to just infuse it in the minds of other players that, okay, at some point we won't be having this guy at all to even play a match, to start, or to even come off the bench. So I think it's just a tactical move, and then, getting the other teammates, like putting them in a position. But Kylian Mbappe, whether he comes off the bench or he plays, he always delivers. He always delivers. But I think the coach is just trying to look for other means that he can be able to use and handle the team, get wins, even with or without Kylian Mbappe. Because I think they are no longer building the whole team around him anymore, because that's how it used to be. But now, since he has maybe a short window to be with them, they are trying to create other means, create other angles that they could use to win games and then play without him.
Looking at replacing him, which striker comes to mind who can have that kind of impact coming into PSG?
I'm looking at Victor Osimhen.
Okay, why?
Why? Because of he's young, he's fast, he's strong, and he's a goal scorer. He creates he doesn't just score goals. He also gets his teammates involved in creating chances and in helping them score as well. So I would just say Victor Osimhen is going to be a perfect fit for PSG if Kylian Mbappe should move to Real Madrid, Liverpool, or Manchester City, wherever he wants to go to.
All right, let's see in the coming days and weeks where Victor Osimhen, the Super Eagles at top now, will be moving to, but he did say he seems a perfect fit for Paris Saint-Germain because of his work rate and the fact that he scores goals, he's strong, he's hardworking, and he knows how to draw players to himself, something PSG needs to win the Champions League. Let's also let you know that Mbappe watched the second half of PSG's draw with his former side, Monaco, from the stands after being withdrawn from action at halftime. That was before last night's game. All right, let's move on to, I know he had spoken about it, but still talking about the bizarre row between Mohamed Salah, Egypt, and Liverpool. Do you think the Pharaohs, in terms of the Egyptian FA, has a case when it's trying to portray Liverpool as being too possessive and not allowing the player offer services to the national team?
I don't blame Liverpool for not letting him go. Why? Because they let him go the first time 100% healthy and all of that, and then you sent him back sick, sent him back with injuries and all of that. He's not fit, one. Liverpool now, they are looking out for their player. They're looking out for his well-being and all of that. But the Egyptians just want to, okay, he's our player, he's our son, he's our national. We need him to come perform his duties. So if they don't allow him, there's no how he can come. But now, I don't think if the Egyptians are actually looking at his health challenge, the injuries, and then his fitness level, they just want him to come. And again, it's just friendlies. He can actually sit out for a friendly. I don't think they need to prove any massive points like that.
Okay.
Since they are going to play with all the way, they are having their match with New Zealand. So I feel since Mohamed Salah is not on 100%, they should just sit him out.
Is it wrong for the Pharaohs to call Salah for the medical team to assess the fitness of their national team player? It's their right.
Since they are getting that from the club, and then the club is saying this guy is not fit.
But we've seen many times when clubs will tell national teams a player is not fit, and the next weekend they throw the player into action.
At the end of the day, we've been saying Mohamed Salah hasn't been playing recent much games, even an important, finals that he was supposed to feature in, but he couldn't, play because of his fitness level. So I feel it's not wrong. I don't think it's wrong for them to, ask for that. I don't think it's wrong for them to ask for the fitness level. But since the club is saying this is the actual situation and is out there, people are saying that he's not actually playing. So I think they should just sit him out this time and just go on with the team they have.
All right, we hope the row between the Egyptian FA, the national team, the Pharaohs of Egypt, and Liverpool will be sorted out. Okay, we're moving to the next big story we have for you this morning. It has to do with one of England's finest midfielders ever. His name, Paul Gascoigne, is in the news this morning, and the big story talks about England legend Paul Gascoigne has opened up on the endless battle to stay sober, revealing that he is staying in his agent's spare room and is back attending Alcoholics Anonymous meeting. Gascoigne, who is 56, has publicly battled mental health problems and alcohol addiction since concluding his storied career in football. Viewed as one of the greatest English players of all time, Gascoigne made 57 appearances for his country and starred for the host of teams including Newcastle, Tottenham Hotspur, Lazio and Rangers, but now has revealed during an interview with High Performance that Gaza, that's his nickname Gaza, lives with his manager Katie Davies on a residential street in Poole on the south coast of England. Gascoigne, who was inducted into English Football Hall of Fame in 2002 before calling time on his career in 2004, has struggled with his battle for sobriety since retirement. He went for rehab for a 7th time for alcohol addiction in 2014, attending a £6,000 a month clinic in Southampton, and has even paid £20,000 to have anti-boozing pellets put into his stomach in a bid to stop drinking. He admitted during the 2021 interview that he will always be an alcoholic. Gascoigne's battle with alcohol has also led to a series of arrests for drunk and disorderly and drinking driving offences. The former superstar admits he barely watches football anymore because of how much he misses it. Let's look at this true life story.
Yeah.
This is one of the finest English footballers ever. We saw him at the World Cup in 1994. We saw him in the Italian 90. He was one of the key players.
Yes.
What does this tell us in terms of the impact of mental health, struggles?
One, it's actually very sad that this great of a player, former player, is going through all of these challenges. But the impact of mental health. You need to be mentally stable, to be able to do what function properly, whether you are on or off any path, any career that you're on. So him being an alcoholic and admitting that, I think he needs more help. He needs more help, and without that, he can't be able to function. Now he's actually, living in a room of his agent, which is actually very, sad and disheartening to hear, because during his time, he started his career very young, under 21. He played for the England under 21 national team, and then now advanced to Tottenham and all of that. He was a great of a player during his time. So him having these mental health challenges now, I think he should, I feel rehab should be able to help him out. And then
he has attended almost 7 times.
7 times.
Yeah.
So he needs more help. He needs more help. He needs more help, obviously, so that he can be able to function and get to do that thing which he loves. He can't even watch football. This is actually something so deep that it's probably way beyond what we are saying. But he needs so much love around him right now, and then he needs all his friends and family to rally around him and then help out and get him to being the great man that he once was.
All right, from talking about one ex-great man to a man who is still great, his name is CR7. We're talking about Cristiano Ronaldo this morning, as Portugal boss Roberto Martinez has warned that he must drop Cristiano Ronaldo to stand a chance of winning this summer's European Championship. Ronaldo, who is 39, remains, remains Portugal's captain and played a key part in their qualification campaign. Martinez's side became the only 8 national team in history to win all of the matches in European Championship qualifying, racking up 10 straight victories. Despite Ronaldo scoring 10 goals in qualifying, a haul only bettered by Belgium's Romelu Lukaku, Martinez has been urged to drop Ronaldo for the tournament. Frank Leboeuf is a French legend who won the World Cup with France in 1998 and in the Euros 2000 with France, also believes that Ronaldo must be left out if Portugal must contend for the title in Germany this summer. Leboeuf told Beta Victor that Ronaldo is no longer playing at the top level after opting to join Saudi Pro League side Al Nassr in January 2023. Do you think this French legend who has won World Cup, Euros, played for great teams even in the English Premier League knows what he's saying? We remember the last time a coach attempted to drop Ronaldo
yeah.
in the Portuguese national team. What played out at the end? Portugal got knocked out against Morocco,
yeah.
and the coach came out 2 years later to say he had never spoken to Ronaldo after he dropped Ronaldo.
Yeah.
And would it be a smart move? Would you say Ronaldo is still not at the top of his game, despite he's playing at the Saudi Pro League?
Ronaldo is one of the greats that have ever played in this in football. So dropping him, it's not something I think a coach should even consider. You know, Ronaldo is someone that shouldn't be dropped. Even if you wouldn't want him starting, you know, him being on the team, he has this winning mentality that he can infuse on other guys to, you know, help them, you know, go into the field of play and then play without so much intensity to win. Because it's not just him playing. It's the mentality that he brings into the younger guys that helps the team win, not just him being on the field of play. Just like what happened with Super Eagles and having Musa, yes. Having Musa on the team. Ahmed Musa on the team. Ahmed Musa didn't play, but his mentality and his experience, he's an older guy on the team. He's, you know, his presence on the team, I know, in a way, boosted and then, you know, encouraged the Super Eagles to be able to get to the level that they got to. And then thinking of, you know, dropping Ronaldo of all persons, it's not ideal. I don't think it's making any sense.
But wouldn't that give the younger generation the chance for the team to learn to win without him? Already we see matches they have won. They also have some other great players like Bruno Fernandes.
Yes.
We know that Diogo Jota is there. We got Dalo. It's also there. They've got some other great players, Bernardo Silva and Cole, who can turn the tides around. Is it not time for the Portuguese team to actually leave outside of Ronaldo?
Actually, I know they have great players on the team, but, you know, like I said, him being on the team brings this winning mentality. Ronaldo doesn't like losing, you know, and the younger guys also will be able to learn one or two from him. I'm saying they shouldn't build the whole team around Ronaldo anymore. They should give room for younger players to play, but he should always be invited because of what he brings to the table, whether on the field of play or on the sideline. Definitely is going to encourage and then help the younger guys perform properly and then win games so when the need arises.
All right, you have your say whether you think Ronaldo should still be part of the Portuguese setup is a big talking point this morning. While we're doing that, let's move you to another big talking point. We're taking you to Germany, where the big story has to do with Bayern Munich have reportedly opened talks with Xabi Alonso over him becoming the next new manager in the summer. In a potential blow to Liverpool's chances of landing him. Alonso, who is 42, is the world football's most in-demand coach after a hugely successful season with Bayern Leverkusen. Sees them 10 points ahead of Bayern in the Bundesliga title race. Just to let you know that Liverpool are keen on the Spaniard to succeed Jurgen Klopp. But reports from Germany suggest that Bayern, who want a replacement for Thomas Tuchel, have already held discussions with him. And Sky Sports Deutschland reported on Monday night that the first signs were positive for Bayern and that Alonso currently favors them over Liverpool. That's a big talking point. Alonso, Bayern, Alonso, Liverpool. Which is better for Alonso?
Alonso has played in the Premier League. He has played in the Premiership. Liverpool was his former club, and he's doing so well right now.
Also played in Bundesliga too.
Yes, played in Bundesliga too, and he's doing so well as a coach in Bundesliga. He's like 10 points clear, and then he still has 10 more games to play. So that's like, you know, a win already for him. I think it's kind of sure that, okay, they are champions already. So for him now, it's just he has made his, I think he made his intentions clear that he actually wants to coach Bayern Munich, and I feel he's going to be, he's going to fit properly, with the style of play over there, and I think he should just continue, coaching in the German league. Or if he wants to welcome different challenges, and then because the Premier League is a different ball game on its own, if he's open to different challenges and wanting to switch and then move, I think Liverpool too is going to be a good fit, even if Chelsea are beginning to speak of getting him to come coach if Shadow didn't really do so well. But I feel he should, stay and then stick with his recent club, that is Bayern Leverkusen. I feel he should stick with them and then rerun it
but
again.
Now the first meeting has already gone positive, and it's showing that Alonso has he wants to take charge of Bayern Munich, because he believes Bayern Munich is the biggest team in the Bundesliga. And if you look at him succeeding in Bayern already in the Bundesliga, would it make economic sense, some football sense, to move quickly to the English league, where he's going to start all over again? And what's the guarantee he's going to get the needed manpower, the quality players he needs? And what's the guarantee those players in Liverpool are going to be willing to play for him? But when he's in the German league, there's a guarantee that, yes, he's likely to even have the ability to bring players from Leverkusen, who he knows have played for him, who can get the job done, and fill up Bayern's shortfalls in terms of any department. So do you think that those were the considerations for Alonso?
I'm sure he's going to look up, put all of those into consideration. But Liverpool has qualities already that he would need to win a game, to win any match, any hurdle that will be placed in front of him. But if he's looking at the aspect that Bayern is the biggest club in the German league, which is very true, I think as a #1 coach, as someone who is like doing so well right now, he's definitely going to aim for the top, which is Bayern. And then Bayern also have qualities, but another thing now boils down to the fact if the players in Bayern will want to play for him, just like, you going into an office, you're definitely going to bring a few persons that you need that is going to align with your vision. So I feel he might put all of those into consideration, bring some people from Bayern Leverkusen, and then, switching it up, mixing it up to be able to, perform greatly as he did in Bayern Leverkusen if he gets to go to Bayern Munich to be the club manager.
But let's, before we leave that story, Klopp has won the Champions League, the Premier League, the FA Cup, 2 League Cups, the FIFA Club World Cup during his 9 years in charge of Liverpool. Looking at that mighty record he has in terms of trophies, do you think that would be a big challenge for Alonso that might make him say, okay, because if I move to Liverpool, I'm going to be judged if I can equal the amount of trophies Jurgen Klopp won, rather I go to Bayern where I don't have to have any pressure on me?
Alonso is still young of a coach as well. He's young, and then I feel any challenge that we put in front of him is just going to need some quality and then a little bit of a time for him to, scale that. But in this space, and then having all of these trophies that are lined up for him to like supersede, I feel that when, you're being, invited here, or you're being employed here to give results. But I'm sure he can't just wake up and then at the snap of a finger achieve all of that. It's just going to take him a little more time for him to achieve that. So it's something that would happen. He's still young, he's 42, and then in years coming, he will, whichever team that he gets to manage, he will be able to like move his players and then take his players to that peak where they can win, trophies consecutively in a season.
All right, let's move on to other stories making the round. We've got from Alonso, let's talk a little bit of tennis now as we reach the business end of the program. We've got Simona Halep is free to resume her career after the Court of Arbitration for Sport reduced her doping ban from 4 years to 9 months. The former Wimbledon champion tested positive for blood-boosting drug Roxadustat at the U.S. Open in 2022 and was handed a long ban last September. Halep appealed to CAS, and following the hearing last month, the court has dramatically reduced the Romanian suspension. A CAS statement read that a CAS panel has unanimously determined that the 4-year period of eligibility imposed by the ITF independent tribunal is to be reduced to a period of eligibility of 9 months starting from October 7, 2022, which period expired July 6, 2023. The International Tennis Integrity Agency, which oversees the tennis anti-doping program, had also appealed seeking an even longer ban, but this is a major victory for Halep, who was staring at the end of her career if the original sanction stood. From 4 years to 9 months, does this give us a clue to what's really playing out, the fact that this was a lucky one for Simona Halep?
You know, Simona Halep, it's actually, I think it's a lucky one, and it's, you know, it's like a miracle for her, given the fact that she thought she wouldn't even be playing for, like, you know, it looks like her career has come to an end, but luckily she was able to, like, you know, get a win and then, you know, get approval to come back to play the sport that she actually loves. So I celebrate her, and then I'm happy for her for, you know, crushing this milestone and, you know, getting the approval to come back and play in all competitions. Okay. So it's
well, 4 years to 9 months.
It's a miracle. It's a miracle. That's just the only definition, because it looks as if her career was ended already. Yeah. So somehow it just happened, and then she's back to playing.
All right, before we go, we have to talk a little bit of boxing. Just imagine he's Francis Ngannou, and imagine I'm Anthony Joshua. that's what the fight is going to look like, because Frank Warren, who is a promoter, is convinced that Francis Ngannou is capable of shocking the world by beating Anthony Joshua in Saudi Arabia on Friday night, this coming Friday.
Yes.
Ngannou will take on Joshua in Riyadh just over 4 months on from pushing Tyson Fury all the way on his boxing debut before losing a split decision. The former UFC champion sent Fury to the canvas in the 3rd round of their contest, demonstrating the power that he became renowned for inside the octagon. And the Hall of Fame promoter Warren feels Ngannou, who is the heavy underdog, has the tools to trouble Joshua and push him onto the back foot and to give himself the best chance of getting his hand raised this time. Joshua also impressed in his last outing as he stopped a respected contender Otto Wallin after 5 rounds in the first fight under new trainer Ben Davison. Warren admits Joshua looked close to his brutal best in December, but expects Ngannou to offer the Brit a much sterner test than Wallin managed. Ngannou's epic battle with Fury went the distance last year, despite both men taking some heavy shots over the 10 rounds. Warren is adamant there will be no need for the scorecard this time, though he has predicted an explosive finish to Friday's main event. How explosive are we going to see? Ngannou, physically, if our producer can show us the pictures of these people,
yes.
Ngannou obviously looks wider, larger, older, more experienced, and Ngannou is from the streets of Cameroon.
Yes.
Worked his way up. He was from the suburbs, worked his way to the top. So you know how much hustle he had gone through, his bones toughened, his mind. But Anthony Joshua on the flip side is a gentleman, a Chebo from Nigeria to England, and just found out he could do boxing. So didn't have a hard life. So how do you see this panning out?
How I see this playing out is, one, like, voila.
Did you just say that?
Because, seriously, I think I'm agreeing with Frank on this, because Francis Ngannou has gone through a whole lot. And when he was, a UFC fighter, he was a pound-to-pound puncher. Yeah. Like, he finishes his opponent standing or on the mat, whichever way you want it, he's down. He's experienced, he's very strong. And again, he has been training with Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson has been training him for months now, coming and all of that. He dropped Tyson Fury with the left hook. So now what I think, Anthony Joshua is a great fighter. I'm not, taking that away from him. He's a great fighter. He's experienced. He's tactical. He's smart with his punches and then his moves as well. So I feel what will happen on Friday is the first person that lands a very heavy punch, I think, wins it all. That's what I think, because they are very great. They are great fighters. They are both great fighters. I'm not going to take that away from any of them. They are great fighters, and it's going to be tough. It's really going to be tough.
Let's assume Joshua goes down first. Is there possibly he can come back, or vice versa? If Ngannou goes down, who has more potentials of being able to come back?
I feel Ngannou has more potential of coming back. I feel he has more potentials of coming back. That's what I think.
All right, so Friday is the date we have with the boxing world. We'll be watching Anthony Joshua and Francis Ngannou closely. It's Cameroon versus Nigeria in the boxing ring on that day. Okay. Let's see who. But for you, who takes the fight?
Okay. I'm sorry, my brother Anthony, but I'm going with Francis. I'm going with Francis Ngannou on this one.
All right. For me, since I'm the umpire, it will be wrong for me to stake a claim. But obviously, I'll be